I did a study, and I studied all the organizations that were last names. Can I give you the list? McDonald's is a last name. Armani is a last name. Gucci, Hennessy, Harley Davidson, Hilton, Honda, Porsche is a last name. Rolls Royce, Wells Fargo, Welch's Grape Juice, last name. You think you're wearing a product. Hey, look at this product. No, you're saying, look at this family. And what you don't know is while you making every family rich, you making yourself broke. So you done went to one family called Wells Fargo and got $200,000 so you can go to another family called Rolls Royce so you can give them money to get yourself a car so you can go back to the hood and see the Joneses and say, look at what I got. Meanwhile, Wells Fargo, their family's sitting up being rich, and Harley Davidsons and Rolls Royce are being rich, and the Joneses are sitting there holding up people's stuff saying, look at what we did and we broke.
Gucci is a family's last name? What's going on, fam? It's your boy, Anthony O'Neal. Welcome back to The Table. It's a special edition because today I'm by myself, but I'm not by myself. Yo, Brian, what's up, big bro?
What's going on, Ayo, man? How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. You know, I'm ready for this Corona stuff to turn around, but, you know,
I'm done. I'm sick of it. I want it to be over. I'm finished with this. I'm done. Leave, Corona, leave.
Oh, man, I'm with you, man. You know, Brian, about a year ago, you went viral. I mean, I looked it up. You had over 1 million views throughout different channels that reposted your stuff. And you were talking about legacy, but legacy from a perspective of a young person and what we can do to build that legacy. And you believe that our last name is stronger than our first name.
Absolutely. Without question, man. Your last name is bigger than your first name. I did a Google search, man. Anybody can do this search. Just look up all the companies that are last names. And it was crazy, man, because I realized that McDonald's is a last name, and Armani is a last name, and Hennessy is a last name, and Gucci.
Hennessy?
Welch's Grape Juice. Those are last names. And what I realized was that we weren't investing in a product, we were investing in families. That we weren't just giving our money to just a pocketbook or a motorcycle, because Rolls Royce is a last name. Harley Davidson those are last names. We were actually investing in families. And what dawned on me was I was spending all my money making every other family rich and making my own family broke. And so I did this thing called Living for Legacy, where I did a video where I'm just saying, hey, it's time for us to stop living for our first name and start living for our last name. I posted it, man. I woke up the next morning. I had about 3,000 new followers on Instagram, rappers, hip hop artists, athletes, pastors, politics. Everyone started sharing it because I think we're living in a time where people are realizing that legacy is one of the most important topics we can talk about today.
When I seen that, man, it hit me to the core because, you see, I'm a man who teaches finances. I am a man who's not married, who doesn't have any kids, but I am working on building a legacy. Why do you think legacy is such an important topic for this young generation?
Because legacy is your mark, man. Legacy is your imprint on the world. And I think we need to start being intentional about the legacy that we leave. I went through this experience where I rented a car, man, and I was in a quick, fast hurry. I rented a car real quick, and the car had a little bit of an odor in it. I didn't think much of it because I just said, let me put an air freshener in it and then keep moving. When I brought the car back, when they charged me, I realized they charged me $400 more than what I agreed to pay for the car. When I went back and said, why y'all charge me so much? They said, you brought the car back with an odor in it. I said, no, I didn't. I got the car with an odor in it. They said, no, you brought the car back smelling like cigarette smoke. After about 30 minutes of going back and forth, I'll never forget what the woman said. She said, well, if you didn't put the odor in the car, the person before you did. And I guess you're just going to have to pay for what somebody else did. And what I realized is that most of us are paying a price for what our parents did. Most of us have an addiction that didn't start with us. It started with our parents. Most of us have a depression issue that didn't start with us. It started with our grandparents. Most of us are bad with money, Anthony, not because of us, but because we inherited a poverty mentality. And what I'm trying to do is I don't want us to pass down no more stinky cars. I don't want us to pass down no more stinky lives. At this point, I want you to clean up your life so that we can finally start passing down to generations a life that they would welcome and love living.
Yo, man, and you there, I'm there, and you wrote a book on this. So what was that the main reason why you wrote this book? Or what really sparked you to write a book for other young people to have a conversation about legacy? I mean, what is a 20-year-old doing thinking about legacy? We should be out there buying Gucci, right?
No, here's the deal. You're going to leave a legacy whether you want to or not. And I think we got to change this conversation about legacy and move it from what do people remember about me when I die to what do people remember about me when I leave the room? What do people remember about me when I leave this job? And I think you're always leaving legacy. Legacy is not just a thing about when I die. Legacy is happening right now. If you're 20 years old, somebody's talking about you in some room. And the question is, are you going to be intentional about what they're saying, or are you just going to leave it to chance? Are you going to leave it to chance that hopefully they see the things about me that I want them to see? But man, you ask the average 21-year-old when they were 15 and 16, man, there were some things that they did that are still following them now. And I'm saying as early as we can, let's be intentional about our lives, man. I don't want to be known as the late person. I don't want to be known as the broke person. I don't want to be known as a person when I leave a room, people just say, thank God that person's not here anymore. No, I want people to remember me, and I want them to remember me for the right things. So legacy is about being intentional about your life and not leaving it to chance.
70% of millennials have less than $5,000 in their savings. Wow. CNBC says that nearly 62% of just millennials are living paycheck to paycheck. We know that nearly 80% of all American people are living paycheck to paycheck. Millennials who don't have a lot of bills compared to a 50, 60-year-old are still living paycheck to paycheck. The average millennial, CNBC says the same thing. They spend $300 a month on alcohol.
Wow.
You're talking about that we should be focusing on what are we building, what are we creating that we can pass down? Not just money, but what are we building that we can give to our kids that the world can remember us by? Let's talk to that young person that's watching us right now. What should we be doing in our young youthfulness season to start building a legacy?
I think the first thing you got to do is make a decision. You got to make a decision that no matter what, I'm going to be intentional about my life. Because here's the deal. If you don't start building your legacy, you will spend the rest of your life building someone else's. Let me say it again. If you don't be intentional, if you don't start building your legacy, you will spend the rest of your life building someone else's. And I don't want you to spend your 20s making other people rich and making yourself broke.
But so wait, pause right there, bro. Pause right there, bro. That's gold what you just said. In our 20s, building and making somebody else rich, and we're not building wealth for ourselves. We're not building our savings account. We don't have 3 to 6 months of expenses because we gave 3 months of our paycheck to Gucci to get a Gucci bag.
Absolutely. And it's not just money, it's time. You're giving, let's say you find a job. You're going to give that job 8 hours of your gift. Yeah. How much time are you giving your gift to your own life? How many hours are you gifting yourself with your gift? Because oftentimes, man, we just find a job, we find a 9 to 5, and we're happy and we're satisfied. And then we spend the rest of that time just kind of laying out, entertaining ourselves. And I'm saying, no, you got to spend at least, if you're giving someone else 8 hours of your gift, you should at least give yourself 2 hours in a day of building what God has put in you, building your own thing. I think even jobs today, man, everybody got to have a side hustle. If you're 20, you're 21, you're 23, that got to be a side hustle, man. There's got to be something that you do that's investing in yourself. Most employers I know today, they have no problem with you investing in yourself if they don't feel like it's going to interfere with what you're doing for them. But man, legacy is about me saying, I have a gift and I have a last name and I've got to build my last name and I've got to make sure that my legacy and my name matters.
So you believe that our last name is stronger than our first name?
Without question.
So you believe that let's say for an example, I'm about to get married. You already married.
Yes.
I'm the single brother on this channel. Sucks. But anyways, you believe that when I get married, that my wife should have my last name. What's your thoughts on, from a legacy perspective? I'm curious, as a pastor who marries people often, what if she doesn't want to have my last name? What if she wants to keep her father's last name?
Yeah, I think that the Bible says that we leave and cleave. So we leave our mother, we leave our father, and we cleave to our husband, we cleave to our wife. Mm-hmm. As much as you love your father, love your mother, what we are about to build is about to be different. It's about to be our own family nucleus. And I believe in having one last name because I just think it's easier. I think we take pride in our name. We build that name together. Think about it. When my wife and I got married, my wife had to change everything. She had to change, her license. She had to change her driver's license, her passport, and all these different things. Why? Because when we were going to go buy a house, they're looking for really one name. When we were starting investing in stuff, we wanted that investment to go to one name. Yeah. Me and my wife, because our last name is the same, we can do stuff for each other's bank account. There are just certain things that we're trying to do, but really what it is a mentality. I want the mentality to be that we are the Bullocks, not you're the Enriquez and I'm the Bullock. No, we are the Bullock family. This is what we do. This is who we are. And I believe that if you can have one name, have it and fight for that name, take pride in that name, because I say it this way, man, I don't know what Bullock meant before I got it, but I know what it's going to mean when I'm done with it. And I think that it's really important for a couple to say, look, this name might have meant one thing yesterday, but by the time we're done, this is going to be a whole new name for a whole new generation. Now, if there is a woman who's saying, look, I'm the last in my family. After me, there might not be any more carrying this name. I get it. And I think that's a discussion between that wife or that woman and that man. I know women who have said, listen, my name produces wealth for the family. And I know husbands who say, hey, let me tell you something. If that name, I'll take your last name. Your name produces so much money. I'll take your last name.
I couldn't do it, bro.
In those cases, it's a conversation. But to me, I think that there is something important about my kids having my last name. There's something about my son. I don't know if you've ever been to a football game and when they start, or you've been to an airport, there's like one family, but everybody got 12 different last names. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it. We all have the same name so that we're all fighting for, so that we are all producing generational wealth for our family.
So last week, man, I posted a video about should the man control the finances, and the ladies they came after me very quick.
Yeah,
and I can understand why, but in this day and time, do you encourage marriage, and do you believe that marriage is still relevant in today's culture, especially when it comes to building a legacy?
Without question. The Bible says that two are better than one. It's this idea that two people who are locked in, man, going after the same goal, going after the same dreams. Man, the acceleration and the power that's on that couple is like no other. Think about it. For me, I'm a very people-oriented person. I'm a very high visionary type of person. And that's good. It blesses me. It brought wealth to my life. It's helped me. My wife is not necessarily people-oriented. My wife is detail-oriented. Mm-hmm. My wife thinks about the small, little thing, just a little detail. So guess what? When she was on her own, my wife was getting details, but them people, man, that was lacking. Mm. And for me, before I met my wife, my people skills was crazy, but I was disorganized. Well, what happens when you bring someone who's got the people-oriented skills and the detail-oriented skills? Somebody who's a high visionary with somebody who also knows how to take care of the little things. Man, now you have a power couple. And I'm trying to produce power couples, man. I'm tired of seeing people just building wealth by themselves. I want people to build wealth together, because here's the thing, Anthony, we're having children. Even the people who aren't getting married are having children. And if you're going to have children, I'm saying, hey, let's raise them together. Let's be connected. Let's live in the same home. Let's have the same dreams. let's make sure that we're depositing the same things in our children.
You know, one of the fears that I have, bro, is when I get married, I'm a little nervous because what if my wife and I are not on the same page? What if we don't agree on the same goal? What if we have a goal but we don't agree how to accomplish that goal? How do we resolve that issue? How do we still stay true together and still move forward? Or do we just stop and just exit that thing out?
Yeah, well, no, we don't exit that thing out. Number one, let me just say this. I really want to give some peace to single people. Okay?
Talk to us, Doc.
There's this idea that bad marriages are just inherited. I don't necessarily believe bad marriages are inherited. I believe that bad marriages are made. I believe that good marriages are inherited. They are made. When I see a person with a six-pack, I don't think they did that accidentally. I know there was work put in. They denied themselves some things. And I think when people think of marriage, they've seen so many bad images of marriage that the fear is, I might get a bad one. Because we think of marriage like rolling dice. Like, man, I hope I get a 7. Give me lucky. No, your marriage is going to be a product of the work that you put into it. And most people have bad marriages because they dated wrong. They dated bad. They didn't ask the right questions. They didn't spend the right amount of time. That's not going to be you, Anthony. That's not going to be the audience that we're talking to right now. We're going to date. You're going to date in a healthy way. You're going to find the right person. You're not going to get to your wedding day and not know this person's dream and mission and legacy. You're going to know this person is locked in. And here's the thing, man. After you get married, this is a whole person. I'm a whole person. There have been times where when I wanted to be debt free, I read Dave Ramsey before my wife. I spent a day and read Dave Ramsey. When my wife came home, I said to her, sweetie, we're paying off all our debt. At that time, we had Sally Mae. We had 2 car loans. We had Best Buy. We had all these cards. And my wife said, we're not paying off no debt because at that time, it was like, man, we making these monthly payments. That's all we need to do. And it took about a month of us communicating, of us talking, of me showing her why this was important. And if you are with somebody who really loves you, give them some patience. You don't have to force it and just rush it. Maybe it takes a week. Maybe it takes a month. Maybe it takes 2 months. But at some point, because we love each other and we're connected, we're going to be driven to the same dream. When I started telling my wife, girl, what you going to feel like when we don't have no payment? What you going to feel like when we get a check and don't have to send it to nobody but ourselves? What is it going to feel like when you put your foot in the grass in your own backyard?
Come on, man.
It belongs to you. What you going to do when we go to the bank and they say, do you want some water, some tea, some coffee? The bullets are here. By the time I was done telling the girl what we was going to do, she said, I want to be debt free. Let's do this thing. So it's really about patience. It's really about taking the time to tell the why and talk about legacy. That's what's important.
So let me ask you this question, man, because you just got me excited. And a lot of people look at me weird because I'm always talking about my future wife, my future kids, the legacy I'm going to leave them, the land I'm going to leave them. What are some tips that young people, millennials, can do right now to make their world better? They're sitting at home, Corona time, they're bored. They're watching TV, they're on Netflix, they're on Instagram, looking up other people's world, looking at other people's legacy. What are some tips that we can do right now?
And the first thing to do is start dreaming, man. This is the dream time. This is vision time. And the best way for me to do it is I say, hey, what do I want to be in 12 months? What do I want 12 months to look like? I'll never forget this quote. It says, you will be exactly who you are today in 5 years, except for the books you read and the people that you meet. And so this is the time to start saying, what do I want 5 years from now to look like? What do I want my life to be in 12 months, in 6 months? Because guess what? The moment I create a destination, my destiny is going to go towards it.
Wait. Say that. Wait. Say that again, Doc.
The moment I create a destination, my destiny is going to start going towards it. And so you got to declare a destination. How much do you want to weigh in 12 months? Come on now. What do you want to be in 12 months? What do you want to know? How much money do you want to make in 12 months? I need you to write it down. I need you to put it down. What giants are you trying to destroy in 12 months? What curses are you trying to break over your family and over your life in 12 months? Because once I know the destination, my destiny is going to start being pushed towards it. Because now I know my decision. See, the reason why I'm hanging out watching Netflix and doing all this stuff, because I don't really have a destination in mind. So my decisions aren't really aligned with my destiny. I think when you identify your destination, now my decisions will be aligned with my destiny. And I think there are too many people, man, who don't have their destination in mind. They don't know what 12 months look like. They don't know what 2 years look like. They don't know what 5 years look like. Stephen Covey, we all love the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Yeah. And one of the things he says is start with the end in mind. You got to start at the finish line and then work your way backwards. So the first thing I would tell a person to do is let's declare our destination. Let's start dreaming. Let's start planning. The second thing you need to start doing is actually make a daily schedule. Your daily schedule, man, means everything. Your routine is going to help you in every way possible. This is not the time to waste time. This is the time you almost got to treat your time like we treat our budget. Dave Ramsey always teaches you got to tell your money where to go or you're going to wonder where it went. Yeah. And I believe the same thing about time. You got to tell time where to go or you're going to wonder where it went. Let's put a schedule together. Let's actually determine that I'm going to spend my 8 hours in a day, the 8 hours that I give to work, and I'm going to read a book. I'm going to work out. I'm going to call people and DM people who can help me. I'm going to seek out mentorship. And I think that's number 3, to be honest, is find a mentor, man. Too many people are trying to do this thing alone. If you're going to be a legacy builder, there are going to be some things you're going to have to do on your own. But at some point, you're going to want to find a mentor to walk with you through life. And at this point, you can find a mentor online. You can find a mentor through books. You can find a mentor through podcasts. You can hear from the greatest minds right now by just opening up your phone. And I think that's really, really critical and important for this next generation.
Yeah, man, I like that. I like those 3 things because, we were created by the Creator. And so my whole philosophy is if I serve and if my Father is the Creator, I could be creative. And so I think on this time, during this season, identify what the next, not just 12 months. Once you identify the 12 months, go back to the next 6 months, go back to the next 3 months, go back to this month. What are you doing to get through this month? What are you creating? What is on the inside of you that can be birthed out of you during this time? What are you speaking into life, because God is our creator? For me, well, a lot of people say, Anthony, you're always talking about you're miserable being single. No, I'm not. I'm speaking what I seek, not what I see right now. I see that I'm single, but I seek to be married. I seek to be a great husband. I seek to be a great father. So that's what I speak, because I want my legacy to be that, not to be single for the rest of my life. And so I love what you're talking about. When you get the destination, you identify your destiny. And so, man, I'm rocking with you, bro. I'm loving all of this, man. I really, really, really am. Last question for you, and then I really want you to tell people how they can get your book, because I think this is a book that every young person, if you're between 18 and 34, 35, you need to get this book. Stop looking on Instagram, looking at everybody else's life that's fake. Build your real life. Stop watching Netflix and helping somebody else accomplish their dreams and goals, which we should be helping and serving, but start putting more time into your dreams and your goals. But I got to ask this question because, I'm a money guy. I'm a money guy for millennials. How big of a role is money when it comes to building a legacy? We know in certain cultures that one particular culture may not leave their families with much, and there are some others that may. How big of a role is money when it comes to building a legacy, bro?
I think money is huge. Money is a major part of legacy because money enables me to live the life that I want to live. Money allows you the ability to make some choices that you couldn't necessarily make Think about it. Based on money is going to determine what neighborhoods I can live in, what kind of house I want to live in. Right now, my kids go to a particular daycare that me and my wife like because of the money that we are able to produce and put our kids in the right setting for their gifts and their skills. When my daughter was born, both of my kids, when they were born, they kind of had a little bit of a speech impediment. But because we were able to have the money that we have, we were able to get them the coaches that they needed to help them speak. And so for me, I think it's vital, man. Money plays a major role. Think about it, man. Your wealth, man, is everything. And I think too many people aren't passing down wealth to their children. I think too many people are hoarding their ideas and hoarding their money instead of setting people up. It's time for us to stand on the shoulders of giants, man. I'm tired of everybody trying to jump up, climb up the ladder on their own, man. Can we pass down something? Can we help somebody else get up? And I think it's important that we all determine. I'm not trying to be a slave forever. And we know that the borrower is slave to the lender. And I think we have too many people who are trying to build legacy with chains on their hands. And I'm trying to get those chains of debt and chains of bondage to our lust and all the things we're trying to consume and buy. I'm trying to get that off of people. And I think that taking care of your money is super, super important to doing that.
Man, I love it, man. Dude, I don't even have nothing to say after that. Because you're speaking everything that I speak and I teach. Tell the people, how can they follow you? How can they get your book, bro? Because this is I've read it, and I just love it, man. So how can we get a hold of your book?
You can get the book from brianmbullock.com. Everyone who orders from my website, I'm signing a copy of that book, and I'm making sure that gets right to you. Or you can order it from Amazon. If you are a person who likes ebooks and you're saying, man, I want that thing today, you can get the Kindle edition right now on Amazon. And that's the way you can get in the book. Follow me at Brian M. Bullock on Instagram. I'm always giving legacy content. As you're scrolling through your day and all the negative stuff that we see sometimes, get some positivity in your life, and do that by following me at Brian M. Bullock.
Man, it would definitely bless you, bro. I'm going to bring in my producer, Connor. He is going to at the end of every show, bro, we do a save or cave. You got to choose which one, Brian. Like what would you want to do? You know what I'm saying? Is your wife near you?
She is.
Yeah, bring Karen in there. She got to be a part of this too. Bring Karen in there. Yeah, bring Karen in there.
Oh, Lord.
Come on in here, Karen.
Hey.
What's up, Karen? So, Karen and Brian. So at the end of my show, every time my producer Connor asks, he always just asks us a question. It's a fun question, but you got to be real and you have to be honest, and you only can choose one. Okay? All right. So, Connor, hit us with it.
All right. So this is a would you rather save money question, okay? And we call it save or cave, all right? So I'm going to give you two options, and the cool part about this is the people watching at home, they'll be able to vote too, and you can check into the video later and see like what the majority voted, if they voted with you or against you or whatever. So would you rather save money by only eating leftovers for every single meal or having to share every meal you eat with your spouse? Yeah, hypothetical.
Yeah.
Without question.
Without question.
Without question. Me too. My wife would kill me if I tried to eat her food, man.
No, that would not be good.
And he doesn't like what I do to my food, so.
Yeah, she does weird stuff to her food.
So wait, that's why I like Karen, man. Because my last girlfriend who they hooked me up with, she was...
Oh, my Lord.
Them
Wow.
two matchmakers.
They hooked me up with her. She wanted to eat everything off of my plate when we went to a restaurant. She said that's just normal.
Yeah, you'd have to share the plate too. So you can't pick it off, put it on your own plate. You both have to have the same plate.
The way we cut our food is different. The way she stirs up stuff is different.
I like hot fries.
It's like, you know what I mean? Yeah, like if me and my wife got like a drink or something, my wife has to stir it up a bunch of times before she drink it. I like it just the way it is. Don't touch it. It's just, yeah, no. No.
I'm with y'all though too. I can do spaghetti leftovers all day long.
All day.
All day.
All day.
I grew up on that anyways. You know, I had spaghetti for like 3-4 days straight for dinner.
Dude, leftovers should be a restaurant. I mean,
So let me ask you this, because I didn't know that there's people out there that refuse to eat leftovers. My stepdad being one of them. And I'm like, are you crazy? Like, this Alfredo is perfectly good for tomorrow or midnight. What's your opinion on that?
It tastes better the next day.
Tastes better. That's true.
Spaghetti.
without question. Without question.
Lasagna.
But don't, Anthony, you can't, when it comes to food, you really can't be in the conversation. You elevate it to the place where you eat for health and fuel and so no, man, the rest of us, we like enjoying our food, man. You eat for your workout.
Last video, he chose he'd rather eat mac and cheese for how long? For a whole month.
I'll eat mac and cheese all day before I do a healthy protein shake
I was
for the rest
surprised.
of if it's my mama's macaroni and cheese or a vanilla milkshake, protein shake, absolutely.
I'm doing
That's
mama's mac and
Now
cheese.
that is funny. You know what I'm saying?
This sounds really good. I'd have to go with your mom's mac and cheese too. Now I have to try it sometime.
Oh, I'll make sure. Yo, Brian, Karen, thank you all so much, man, for what you all are doing. Not just for the kingdom, but for all of us, man. This book is going to bless people. For those of you all watching right now, please get this man's book. Support him. But by supporting him, you're supporting and elevating yourself. This man is not just about money. He's really talking about the mindset, the spiritual component, about everything. And you see part of his legacy sitting next to him right now towards the end of this show. You know, his wife with 2 beautiful children. I got a little niece and a little nephew. And he's good. Man got a lot of money in the savings account. His wife is happy. And he's doing his good stuff. So, again, thank you all so much, Brian. Karen, thank you all so much. And, bro, I'll get up with you, man, later on.
Love you, man. Peace.
Hey, where can we get that shirt? Can we get that off your website too?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
I love that.
My wife coming through, make your last name bigger than your first name.
Yo.
I'm going to title the video around that. That's cool.
I like that. Make your last name bigger than your first name. Come on, Shababa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, appreciate y'all, man. I get up with y'all.
Thank you.
Woo-wee. Boy, just a great conversation with somebody who is passionate about helping other people start thinking about legacy, start thinking about the future, and to really build something bigger than yourself that you can hand down to your kids, that you can leave an impression on this world. If you like this conversation, I want you to comment below. As a matter of fact, this is what I want you to do. I want you to type your last name below, because I'm going to be praying over everyone's last name this entire day. And I'm going to be praying that your last name become a strong name in today's world. And then 2, be real. Did you like this Zoom conversation? It's different. It's unique. And we're just trying to figure out, is this something we should continue doing? Maybe interviewing people after the coronavirus who can't come to the table. Maybe I could jump on Zoom with them and just have a good conversation. Thank you all so much. If you have not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. And you guys, we're going to have a great time. I'm praying for you during this time. And I'll see you again on the next video. Peace out.